What exactly has he been hiding all this time? Why does his expression look different when Jungkook's name is called? And why did the soldiers who watched the interview immediately flood social media with cries of panic, tears, and disbelief? The questions came just seconds after Taehyung uttered the phrase that is now the center of attention in the fandom world. It all started with a short interview that should have been normal. Taehyung was only asked to share a story about his latest project and the activities he has been doing lately. But somehow, when the interviewer mentioned Jungkook, Taehyung's aura changed. He smiled a little, a smile that could not be hidden, unlike usual, as if something had finally come out of the place he had been covering so tightly. The soldiers, watching, immediately noticed it. There was a subtle vibration in his voice. There is an honest tone that has only appeared in certain moments, and then the sentence came out. A sentence that made the atmosphere quiet for a moment, as if everyone was holding their breath. I can't seem to hide it anymore. That's it. But enough to set the whole fandom on fire. What could he not hide? Feelings? Concerns? A fact that has always been a rumor? Or something much bigger than anyone expected? The army's immediate reaction was unstoppable. The timeline is filled with speculation, emotional screams, recuts of those moments that are replayed over and over as if trying to find every little detail that might have been missed. Some said Taehyung looked relieved, as if finally a huge weight had been lifted from his shoulders. Others feel that he seems emotional, like someone who harbors a deep longing. All interpretations appear, each more intense than the other. What made everything even hotter was the way Taehyung continued his words. He didn't mention what he was hiding, but he mentioned Jungkook in a tone that was too soft to be considered just a coworker. He always knows, even if I don't say it, Taehyung said quietly. The phrase immediately became trending. Army who watched immediately goosebumps. Some even admitted to tears. Did I ask this about their relationship being so close since debut? Is it about something they experienced together but never shared publicly? Or is it about a situation that has happened lately, which has made the two rarely seen together? All of those possibilities made Army more and more curious, more and more emotional, more and more curious to know what exactly Taehyung confessed. The interview ended with no clear answer. But that's exactly what makes it all the more dramatic. Taehyung gives hints, but doesn't reveal the whole truth. He let the world guess, let curiosity spin, let the army ask questions while waiting for the continuation of the confession. But the excitement did not stop there. After the interview aired, fans discovered one additional detail that made things even wilder. Jungkook himself apparently gave an indirect response a few hours later. Without naming names, without context, he posted something so brief, but full of meaning. An emoji. Just one. But enough to blow up the emotions of the army around the world. The emoji seems ordinary to the layman, but for Army, who has been following the dynamics of the two for years, it is no coincidence. It's an emoji that Jungkook often uses when interacting with Taehyung, an emoji that only appears in certain moments, often when he's expressing something sincere and personal. Within minutes, the comments exploded. Does Jungkook know? Is this the answer to Taehyung's confession? Are they messaging each other on social media? Further reinforcing the suspicion is the fact that the post appeared right after Taehyung's interview went viral. It was as if the two were talking without a word, sending each other signals that only they understood. Army sensitive to small things instantly noticed this pattern and shared their theories endlessly. Some of the soldiers said it was probably about their long-standing, deep personal relationships that have gone through ups, downs, pressures, and the spotlight. Others suggested that Taehyung may be admitting how much he misses their company, especially after a schedule where the two rarely appeared together. Some even suspect that this is related to something they are preparing, something that should not be officially announced yet. All the more intense when a staffer they had worked with posted a cryptic story after the interview. Just a photo of the night sky with a small caption. Some things can only be understood by people who have experienced them. No name calling, no mention of events. But the moment of its appearance is too appropriate to ignore. Army began to tie it all together, building a narrative, looking for patterns that might never have been meant to be made public. Amid all the speculation, one thing remains clear. Taehyung is opening up to something that has been hidden behind his role as an idol. There is a sincerity that appears unfiltered. There are emotions that cannot be masked. And there was someone, Jungkook, at the center of that confession. Now, fans can only wait to see if Taehyung will provide further clarification, or if Jungkook will say something first. But one thing is certain. This moment has become one of the most emotional and impactful events for the ARMY, binding them in a sense of curiosity, hope, and a warm feeling that only arises when the two names are mentioned in the same sentence. As all this happened, the relationship between the two idols again became the center of attention. Not in the context of drama, nor in the context of conflict, but in an emotional bond that seems to go much deeper than that of a coworker. ARMY felt something they had rarely seen: unfiltered honesty, wordless longing, and a mutual trust that had been built up over the years on various platforms. Fans began to recall old moments, how Taehyung and Jungkook supported each other in difficult times, how they laughed in simplicity, how the two always found each other despite being in the crowd. All of those memories now felt different, like pieces of a puzzle that suddenly found their place after Taehyung's confession. And now, the question hangs in the air. Will Taehyung continue his confession? Or will Jungkook take the next step and voice his own version of the truth? The only sure thing is that no matter what happens next, the ARMY is already preparing, with pounding hearts, trembling hands, and insatiable curiosity.